Okay guys, in these videos I'm showing you how to make demo recordings of your songs in Garageband. And in this video we're going to look at how to make a slow acoustic ballad. The kind of song you get from Bob Dylan or Tracy Chapman or a more recent songwriter like Ed Sheeran. Okay, now the first Garageband tutorial video that I did, it's linked in the description below and you should watch that video. Okay, that video shows how to make a faster tempo rock style song in Garageband from start to finish as a series of steps. Step 1, step 2, step 3, etc. Okay. Now GarageBand has this automatic drummer built in, and in that first video when we're making a faster tempo song with a rocky feel, whether or not it's using distorted guitar, the technique that we do is that we first build the structure of our song using GarageBand's arrangement markers, and then when we create the drummer track follows the arrangement markers and builds the drum track for us completely across the length of our song from start to finish automatically, and then we just tweak the resulting drum track. And that technique works great for faster or medium tempo songs with a kind of rocky feel, as I say, regardless of whether you're using distorted guitar or not. But when we're doing an acoustic slow ballad, we use a different technique to build the drum track, and that's what we're looking at here. Also in this video we're going to make the bass track using a software instrument, so I'm going to show you the principle for doing that. Okay. Right, so we're going to do Knocking on Heaven's Door by Bob Dylan in GarageBand, and I chose that song because most people know it, whatever their age is. And just to say that with all my GarageBand videos that I'm making, I'm only using the Mac, no other equipment. Okay, I'm using the built-in mic on the Mac and the built-in speakers and headphone socket, and that's it. But if that's all you've got, it doesn't matter. As long as you've got an acoustic guitar and a pair of headphones, you can make demos of your songs, whether they're rock songs with distorted guitar or whatever. And you can get really good demos, right? But obviously, if you've got a proper USB audio interface with a proper mic socket and a proper input for the guitar, you just use that, but you follow the same procedure that I'm going to show. Okay. So we're going to make Knockin' on Heaven's Door by Bob Dylan using just the iMac, just the built-in mic and just the built-in speakers and headphone socket. Let's go for it. Okay, so I'm working with just the Mac, no other equipment. I'm using the built-in microphone, the built-in speakers and headphone socket. So the first thing we do is we plug our headphones into the headphone socket, and you want to use proper headphones that go around your ears. Don't use earbuds. Once you've plugged into the headphone socket, the sound won't come out of the Mac speakers anymore. Alright, and then using the volume control keys on your keyboard, you set your volume to 2 or 3 from the top, like that. It's a good working volume around there, right? Okay, now when you open your GarageBand, it normally opens up with one of the templates, like this songwriter template. But whatever your GarageBand automatically opens up, we don't want it. So we go File, Close, Don't Save. And this thing pops up. Choose Empty Project. Boom. This drops down. Choose Mic. Create. Okay, and we've created a microphone audio track. There it is. Now you want your library open here. Right. Okay, here's the microphone audio track. This is the volume control for the track there, this slider. Alt left click resets it to the default. And the meter behind flickering is the mic being picked up. Okay, now you shouldn't hear the microphone on the headphones at the moment. Okay, you can see the mic is being picked up, you can see the meter flickering, but you shouldn't hear the mic. Okay, first thing we do is we can do a little quick test recording to check it's recording okay from the mic. So we just hit record and sing. I'm about 2 feet from the Mac. Okay, here we go. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. A little bit of test recording. Rewind, have a listen. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Okay, now this is whether you're using the built-in mic on the Mac or a proper mic plugged into a USB box. This is just the raw sound of the mic. It's going to sound raw, but don't worry, we can make it sound better than that. And by the way, my iMac microphone is a little bit broken, I think, and distorted, so you might actually get a better sound than me. But this is the raw sound of the mic. Don't worry if it sounds a bit raw. Okay, we're just testing that we're recording okay from the mic. Once you've done that, select the audio, backspace to delete it. This is the playhead here. You return to the beginning of the song using this center transport button there, look. Boom, go to beginning. Right. So we're ready to build our song. Now, the first thing we have to do is set the tempo, and the tempo is the BPM here. So we put on the click, and this is the default tempo of 120. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Now normally, if we're doing a faster tempo song, what we do is we would just turn this volume control, this is the master volume for Garageband here, we just turn it up a bit loud so we can really hear the click. And we'd play along to the click, and then we'd, if it's too fast, we'd slow it down like that. If it's too slow, we push it up faster like that. And we tweak this BPM, this tempo all the time, strumming along until we get the speed about right for our song. But the thing about when you're doing an acoustic slow ballad is that you may be strumming to the click at half time. So this isn't the best way to set the tempo. Let me explain what I mean by strumming at half time. Okay, this is the default tempo, 120. And there's two different ways I can strum to that click tempo. I can strum at the actual tempo. Okay, click, 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 click. I can strum on every one of the clicks, so I get this speed of playing. 1, 2, 3, 4. Like that. That's strumming at the actual tempo, but you might strum at half the tempo, like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. And if you are strumming at half tempo and you think, well, that's the right tempo, and then you build your drums, the drums will be at double time because you're actually strumming at half the tempo. So when we're doing a ballad, we don't, there's an easy way to set the tempo. Don't bother with trying to do it to the click. The master volume here, we want it at the normal volume, so Alt left click on it to set it to default. What we do is this. The default tempo at the moment is, the tempo is at the default of 120. This is the track column here with the tracks on, right? Only one track at the moment. Above it there's a plus. This plus button. That creates a new track. We create a new track. We create a drummer track. Now, when there are no arrangement markers, if I create a drummer track, boom, it creates the track and it creates 2 bits of drumming. Now you want the editor down here open, so have the scissor button here switched on, right? The drummer track creates 2 bits of drumming, a verse bit of drumming and a slightly more complex chorus bit of drumming. Now we don't want this bit, the chorus bit, so select it, backspace, delete. Here we have just a basic bit of drumming, and when you create the drummer track it always installs the default drummer Kyle here. If we click his face we reveal the possible rock drummers. We can choose these different rock drummers. You've got alternative drummers, songwriter drummers, R&B drummers, and if you choose one of these, each time the drumming here, this bit of drumming, will get updated to that style of the new drummer. Now you might think, well, I'm doing a songwriter song, so I'll choose a songwriter drummer, but the thing is, most of these songwriter drummers, they play little funky licky type grooves and things like that. Even though the default drummer Kyle is in the classification rock, he plays straightforward beats. Now don't worry about the fact he's rock. What we want for a ballad type song is we want straightforward beats to get the right beat to go with our ballad. So Kyle is a really good one to go with. And also don't worry if you don't like the sound of his kit, because we can change the kit later. Okay, I recommend you go with Kyle. By all means you can try the other drummers. Once I've shown you the technique we're going to do to get the drums together, you can try different drummers and use the same technique, but Kyle is a good one to go with because he plays straightforward beats. So we select the bit of drumming here, we turn the fills completely off, right? And we get this bit of drumming and we drag it and snap it to the beginning of the second bar like that. So we've got a 1 bar gap here, just there. Okay, let me zoom in a bit. This is the zoom. Drag it to the right, you zoom in, drag it to the left, you zoom out. Okay, there's the drumming. And we've got a 1 bar gap here now. So with the click on, when we go to the beginning like that and hit play, we'll get 4 clicks, a 1 bar counting before the drumming happens. Like that. Now, first thing, let's get the tempo right. This is the default tempo 120, far too fast for a slow ballad. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I need to slow it down. So let's slow it down. I'm going to go down to something like, let's try tempo 70. 1, 2, 3, 4. Mama, take these guns off of me. I can't use them anymore. Go a little bit fast for heaven's door, so let's slow it down a bit more. I'm going to slow it down to 66. 1, 2, 3, 4. Mama, take these guns off of me. Okay, that's about right. I could go a little bit slower to something like 65. Okay, to get this about right, we can tweak it a little bit further down the line. You know, if we need to make it fractionally slower or fractionally faster, whatever. But get it about right. Okay, that's that. Now, next thing, look at this bit of drumming. The big diamonds here, 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 etc., that go down below the centre line, they're the kicks. The big diamonds here, 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 that go up above the line, they're the snares, and the little ones in between are the hi-hats or cymbals. Right. So we're doing a ballad, and with a ballad we don't want loud drumming. Right now, this ball here, if it's pushed right up loud, the drummer plays really loud. Bring it down medium, the drummer plays medium. Bring it down lower, the drummer plays quieter. I mean, and right down here, the drummer will play rim shots. Okay, I'm going to use rim shots, so I put my ball right down at the bottom here, soft enough until I get rim shots being played. Okay, next, now that's the vertical axis for this ball is the loudness. So you set the loudness first to the loudness of drumming you want for your ballad. The next thing is the complexity, that's horizontal. Now you push it towards complex, you get lots of kicks. Push it that way towards simple, you get way less kicks. Okay, so you want to have the ball around there. Okay, bring the ball towards the centre line, this centre line of complexity on the horizontal axis. Bring it towards the centre line until you start to get a reasonable amount of kicks, these bigger diamonds going below the line. Okay, somewhere about there, right? You see how I suddenly got like quite a few kicks in there, not loads, but a decent amount. Right, now once we've got that, the next thing we want to do is we've got to get the right pattern for this song. Now, this is the critical bit that you need to spend time on. When you're doing an acoustic ballad, the rhythm of the kick and snare is critical to push the song along and go with the rhythm of the song, the strumming, right? I'll give you an example. Let's say we were doing Fast Car by Tracy Chapman. Okay, now it's a slightly faster tempo, so I'll push the tempo up to there. If I'm doing Fast Car Tracy Chapman, we've got the piece of audio, the piece of drumming. We've set the loudness and we've set the complexity to about there, yeah, below 50%. So we've got a reasonable amount of kicks. Now, if we then look at this kick and snare selector, these are the basic patterns that the drummer plays for kick and snare. So pattern 1 is this. Pattern number 2 is this for Kyle, right? Pattern number 3 is this. Pattern number 4 is this. Pattern number 5 is this. Okay, now as you select these different patterns, you may need to fractionally adjust this ball from right to left, just fractionally around this level here, just down from 50% to get the right amount of kicks in. But this pattern number 5 is the right pattern. Boom da boom, boom da boom, boom da boom da boom, boom da boom da boom, or Fast Car by Tracy Chapman. Have a listen. 1, 2, 3, 4. But if we slow the tempo down to Knocking on Heaven's Door speed, it's the wrong pattern for Heaven's Door. 1, 2, 3, 4. Mama, take these guns off of me. Because the kick is coming here just after the snare. Boom, da, boom, boom, da, right? That works for Fast Car because we want boom, da, boom, boom, da, boom, da, boom, boom, da, like, but for Heaven's Door it's the wrong groove. So let's find the right kick and snare pattern for Heaven's Door. Is it pattern 1? No. Pattern 2. And boom, boom, da, boom, da, and boom, boom, da, ba, do, boom. Yeah, that's the right pattern for Heaven's Door. Have a listen. 1, 2, 3, 4. Mama, take these guns off of me. Boom, boom, da, ba, da, boom. I can't do them anymore. Boom, boom, ba, boom, ba. Right, that's the right basic pattern. Okay, now once you've got that right basic pattern, you want to have a look like now here. See just there? There's a tiny diamond just before this bigger kick diamond. And again at the very end there's that tiny diamond at the end. Now that is a little offbeat rim shot the drummer's putting in. Have a listen. Kapum before the kick. Kapum. Right, we don't want that. I don't want that. So once I've got the basic beat together, I just go back to this ball and I'm going to drag it like left to right here. I'm going to tweak it. I'm going to drag it slightly to the left. I'm talking about a millimetre or two until that little offbeat rim shot there and there at the end disappear. But I'm not going to drag it so far to the left that my kicks disappear. Right? Just drag it, and I'm talking about just a millimetre. Oh. You may see other kicks appear, but I'm looking to get rid of that extra little rim shot offbeat and the one there as well. So a little bit to the left. Come on. No. Okay, that one's gone, but there's still that one at the end there, look. So, oh, and the new one has appeared there. It's very finicky, this thing, but let's do it. Move it again to the left. You might not even see this ball move hardly, but I'm moving it slightly to the left. Right, that's it. Yep, that's it. Come on. Come on. Come on. There. No, there's still one there. It's finicky, this, but you got, you know, if you don't want them off beats, you've got to get this right. It's still there, the middle one. There. Now it's gone. Okay, so I've got no more of those offbeat rim shots, but I've got the sufficient amount of kicks in. Here we go. Mama, take these guns off of me. Da, and boom, boom, da, and boom, boom. I can't shoot them anymore. Ba, ba, boom, boom, da, and boom, boom. It's getting too dark to see. Boom, boom, da, boom, boom. Feel like I'm knocking on heaven's door. Doom, doom, da. That's it. There's my basic beat. Done. Okay. Now, there are some extras. Now I've got a choice of whether I want a hi-hat or, because I started off by setting the loudness. That's the first thing you do. I've gone for a low level of loudness, so I'm getting rim shots. And I've set the beat, pattern 2, and the complexity of that beat to get rid of any extra rim shots, off beats, and get the amount of kicks I want in for my basic groove. Now finally I can say, well, do I want hi-hat playing in this pattern, or do I want, because the hi-hat's lit in orange, look, or do I want cymbals? I can switch to cymbals, and then the drummer's going to play the same kick and snare beat but put in ride cymbal instead. So it's up to you. I'm going to go with hi-hat in the verse because it's normal. It's traditional when you're doing an arrangement to have hi-hat in the verse. And then when the drummer switches to play the chorus, the band plays the chorus a little bit louder. So the drummer plays the kick and the snare a bit louder and switches from a hi-hat to a ride. That's a quite traditional thing for a drummer to do. Okay, so there we go. There's my basic beat. Okay. and I can rename this, right click and rename it verse. This is my basic core beat. Okay. Now we need to make the beginning of the arrangement, so I'll bring this to the beginning and snap it to the first bar like that. Okay, this is my beginning bit of the song. Now what happens? I play the guitar until the singing comes in. So how long do I play the guitar before the singing comes in? Okay, well, I'm going to have the guitar play for 8 bars, the length of this default bit of drumming region. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 bars. Dun, 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 like one complete cycle of guitar for that 4 bars, then another complete cycle of guitar, then I'm going to come in with the singing here. So there's my intro. Okay, if your intro is only 4 bars, you drag this and shorten it to 4 bars, but I'm leaving it at 8 bars. Right, now I hold down Alt, drag a copy off and snap it there, and this is my verse. So this is my intro, this is my verse. So this, I rename it intro. That doesn't change the drumming, it just gives it a different title, that bit. And then into my verse. Okay, now this is the zoom. Drag to the left to zoom out like that. And that's the end of my verse. It's an 8 bar long verse. Okay, so I'm singing here, mama, take the, and then here, the chorus. So the chorus in a ballad, the drummer plays exactly the same kick and snare beat, but the drummer might play a little bit louder. That's what normally happens. The drummer plays a bit louder and might play a little bit busier on the kicks. And the drummer might switch from a hi-hat to a ride cymbal. So we get this bit of basic drumming for the verse. We hold down Alt, drag a copy off like that, and stick it to the end of the verse. Boom, like that. Now, let's zoom in on this join between the verse and the chorus. I'll right click and rename this chorus. Let's zoom in on that, because I want you to see something here. This is a copy of that. Okay, this is the verse drawing. I copied it over to here and renamed it chorus, but it's the same. Now here, this is the chorus drumming. So the drumming, I want the drummer to play louder in the chorus. I want the drummer to start playing proper snares instead of rim shots. So with this bit of chorus drumming selected, I get the ball and push it up louder, like that. And the drummer starts to play proper snares and plays the kick a fraction louder. Like that. And one consequence of that is that because this is an automatic drummer and it's kind of got some intelligence, if you make the next bit of drumming louder than the previous bit, this previous bit, the drummer will often change the last couple of rim shots for slightly louder snares, like this. Right? Now if you want to get rid of that, you've got to select the piece of verse here and lower the loudness. And you can get rid of, like, oh, be careful though, the drummer doesn't start putting in that little grace note again, look there, that little tiny diamond at the end, that little offbeat rim. Lower it. Let's see if he's doing a rim shot now. Fine, he's just doing one loud snare at the end of that verse before he goes into the louder chorus drumming here. But I haven't got the little grace rim shot at the end. Let's just look at this first drumming and check there isn't another grace rim shot that's been put in. Yes, there has. There, look, bloody thing. It's a nightmare that it does this, but now I've got to adjust this bit of verse drumming before the chorus drumming there to get rid of that tiny little grace rim shot there. Right, here we go, bringing it slightly simpler, slightly simpler. Now it's gone. Right, there we go, that's done. Okay, that's the basics of getting your drum track together. We've got the verse and chorus now. Okay, chorus is slightly louder than the verse, but the same kick and snare beat. And now I'm going to switch, select this bit of chorus drumming and switch from the hi-hat to the ride cymbal. So the drummer's going to play louder kick and snare and switch to the ride, which is kind of traditional in a ballad. So I've got my basic bits of drums. I've got my intro, my verse, they're the same, and then I've got my chorus which is louder and with a ride cymbal. So after this chorus we're going to go into the next verse. So I get the verse drumming, Alt, drag off a copy, stick it to the end of that chorus like that. Okay. And then after this second verse I'm going to go into my chorus, so Alt, drag a copy of the chorus across and stick it to the end of the verse like that. Okay, and I'm building the structure of my song. 8 bars of intro, 8 bars of verse, 8 bars first chorus, 8 bars second verse, 8 bars second chorus. Now after the second chorus I'm going to go into a guitar solo. I want the drumming for that 8 bars of guitar solo to be the same as the verse drumming with the rim shot. So I get the verse drumming, Alt, drag off a copy, stick it to the end of that chorus. Right, now this I'm going to right click and rename solo. Now this is the same drumming as the verse, rim shot and hi-hat, but because this is the solo I want it to be slightly different, the drumming here. So with this bit of solo drumming selected I'm going to switch to the ride cymbal, but the drummer's going to play the quieter drumming with the rim shot but with a ride cymbal, so it's different to the verse drumming. The verse drumming's got the hi-hat, the solo drumming still got the rim shot, quieter drumming but with a ride cymbal. Okay, after this solo 8 bars I'm going to go back into my chorus. So I get the chorus, Alt, drag off a copy, stick it to the end of the solo section, zoom out, and then I'm going to end my song with another chorus. So Alt, drag a copy of the chorus off, stick it to the end of the last chorus. So after the solo I go back into 8 bars of chorus, then a second 8 bars of chorus. So I've got here a double chorus, right? Zoom out, and then finally I'm going to end with the third chorus. Drag a copy off with Alt, stick it to the end like that. Now, unless you're an expert with programming MIDI in programs like Garageband, it's impossible for you to make a drumming ending to a song like a band would do it, like slowing down, like boom da boom da dun da dun 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 dun, like that, or something like that, right? So the easiest thing to do is you fade out the end of the song, and GarageBand has an automatic fade out feature which we're going to use. Okay, so the traditional thing in an arrangement is at the end of your song you have the chorus, you repeat the chorus, you repeat the chorus, and you fade out the song over the chorus at the end. You leave them with the last thing that they hear as the song fades out is the chorus, the hook of the song, right? So I'm going to end with a double chorus, and the final chorus is going to have the fade out over it like that. There's the structure of my song, and that's the bit you spend the time on. Okay. Now there are no fills, there are no drum fills from the verse into the chorus, or the chorus into the solo, or the, you know, out of the verse into the chorus and out of the chorus back into. There are no drum fills at the moment, right? This is just the basic drumming. Okay, but there it is. That's the first bit we do, getting the drum track together. All right. Now we can move on, and we can put down our guitar and our bass. Okay, so we've done the drum track, and that is the bit that takes the most time. And now we're ready to record the guitar. So we choose the audio track here for the guitar. Now what you want to do is you want to play along with the drums, and at this point you can tweak the tempo. If you think it's a bit slow, just speed it up a little bit, a few beats, whatever, or if it's a bit fast, slow it down a little bit, whatever you think. I'm going to actually put the tempo up to 66, just one beat faster, like that. Okay, so get your tempo tweaked by playing along to the drums, and then we are going to record the guitar. Okay, now you go to record here. This is your counting. For a slow song like this, 1 bar counting is enough. If you want, you can set it to 2 bars though. Okay, so I'll leave it on the default 1 bar counting. Now this is the audio track, and at the moment there's no channel strip preset on it. It's just a raw audio track, and we can see the meter flickering showing that the mic is picking up, but we don't hear the mic. We only hear the mic when we click this input monitor button. Now when you click this button, the volume slider here gets automatically turned right down. Watch, boom. And that's a safety feature to stop feedback loops. If your speakers were switched on, when you activate this input monitoring, the microphone passes through the track and out to your speakers. So this volume gets turned down automatically here, because if it didn't and your speakers were active, there'd be a woo feedback loop as the mic went through and back to the speakers. Okay, So you activate the input monitoring, the volume gets automatically turned down, and then if you hold down Alt and left click on the volume control, it sets it to the default, and now you can hear the sound of the mic passing through the track to your headphones. Okay? And now we can put a preset on for the guitar. So we can choose one of the acoustic guitar presets, such as natural strum, like this. Okay, and that puts some EQ and compression and things on the track, and the guitar sounds like this. Okay. Or there's natural stereo, which is the same but with a wide stereo spread. Or sharp chorus, which has got a chorus. Okay, now I'll go back to natural strum. Okay, now you can choose one of these acoustic guitar presets if you want, but don't worry, because after the guitar's recorded you can change the guitar sound to anything you like. Okay, yeah, and you can choose one of these acoustic guitar presets, but because I'm using the microphone built into the Mac, which is quite a small mic and it's a little bit thin, for clean acoustic type guitar sounds, I like to choose the preset electric guitar and bass category, clean guitar, cool jazz combo. Now this is actually an amp modelling rig, but it's a very clean, mellow sound. Have a listen. Okay, so I'm going to go with that sound for my recording, and then I can always change it afterwards if I want. Okay, so we've got a 1 bar counting. We put the playhead to the very beginning of the track. At this point we don't have to have the metronome on because we've got the drums to play along to. It's up to you, you can leave it on or take it off. And the procedure to record is you activate the input monitoring, the volume gets turned down, you Alt left click on the volume to set to the default, hit record and record your guitar. So here we go. Okay, I'll do it from the whole procedure. Monitoring on, Alt left click on the volume and then hit record. And spacebar to stop. Okay, now the guitar's a little bit out of tune, but obviously you tune the guitar properly first. Okay, now I could have recorded the guitar all the way across the entire length of the track if I wanted to, and if I make a mistake I stop, I get this piece of audio, I backspace delete it, return the playhead to the beginning and record it again. Okay, or if I get to the end and I play it back and I don't like it, I delete the piece of audio, put the player to the beginning and do it again. I could have recorded the guitar all the way through. Okay, but most songs are made up of the same sections repeated. Okay, now in Heaven's Door it's a bit different to normal songs because the chorus is exactly the same guitar as the verse. Okay, most songs the chorus is different chords, but the principle I'm showing here is the same. Okay, most songs the verse and the chorus, every verse and chorus is the same, and the intro is usually the same as the verse. So, or if it isn't, well, it doesn't really matter. The point is, you only need to record the intro section, one verse and one chorus, and then you can chop the audio into the intro, verse and chorus bits, and you can copy the verse audio to the other verses, and you can copy the chorus guitar audio to the other choruses. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. I've only recorded the intro, verse and chorus guitar. So if we zoom in on the piece of audio, now here, if you click anywhere in this row here below the numbers, the playhead follows where you click. Okay, so here, that's the end of the chorus, that's the chorus bit of drumming, and that's the very end of the chorus there. Now there's a bit of overspill in the recording when I stop recording and hit stop, a little bit of extra. So I grab that and I bring it in and I stick it. It sticks to these bar lines, right? Like stick, stick, stick. So I snap it, stick it to the very end of the chorus like that. Okay. And then I get the playhead and I bring it here and I snap it exactly to the beginning of the chorus section. Snap like that, exactly to the beginning of this chorus marker there. And I highlight the piece of guitar audio and then I go edit, split the region, the audio region for the guitar which is highlighted, at the playhead position, which is exactly at the beginning of the chorus. So I split this guitar playing exactly at the beginning of the chorus. Boom, there it is. And this is my, I'll rename it, this is my chorus guitar. It's the same chords in this song as the verse, but I played it a little bit louder. Alright. Now I bring the playhead here and I snap it exactly to the beginning of the verse. Snap like that. And I highlight the guitar audio and I split the audio here, exactly at the beginning of the verse. Edit, split the region at the playhead, boom. And it splits the guitar playing right at the beginning of the verse. So this is now my verse bit of guitar. Right click, rename it verse. And the bit that's left over is the beginning bit here, the intro, which I'll rename intro. Okay, now, as I said, in this song, the chorus playing chords is the same as the verse, but in your song, the chorus is probably different. But you now have, if you do it this way, you now have your intro bit of guitar, your verse bit of guitar, and your chorus bit of guitar. And you can now copy the verse and chorus guitar over to the other verses and choruses. So I get the verse guitar here, Alt, hold down the Alt button on the keyboard, drag off a copy of the verse like that and stick it exactly, snap it to the beginning of the next verse like that. Now in the solo here, I'm going to play a guitar solo in this bit, but the guitar playing is the same as the verse. So hold down Alt, get this bit of guitar, hold down Alt, drag off a copy and stick it exactly, snap it at the beginning of that bit so it's exactly over the solo. That just leaves these choruses for the guitar. So I get the chorus guitar here, Alt, drag off a copy, snap it to that chorus, Alt, drag off a copy, snap it to that chorus, Alt, drag off a copy, snap it to that chorus, Alt, drag off a copy, snap it to that chorus. That's it. Okay, and that's the guitar done. You don't have to play the guitar all the way through. Okay, if your song is just the same bits repeated, you just record the verse and the chorus and the intro, chop it up and copy the verse and chorus bits over to the other verses and choruses in the song. Okay, so there's my guitar done. Okay, so now I'm just going to do a little mix. I'm just going to lower the guitar a little bit. Okay, now if we bring in the smart controls here, here is the controls for the guitar. At the moment I've got this cool jazz combo on the guitar track, so it's going through the guitar cool jazz combo sound. You see, once you've got the guitar recorded, you can change the guitar afterwards to any sound. So I could change it to Amazing Tweed, and the controls here change to the Amazing Tweed controls. or Brit and Clean, or Clean Room, or Move them up. Anything I want. I can change the guitar sound anytime. Or I could go back to an acoustic guitar sound like the natural stereo, or the sharp chorus. Okay, so I'm going to stick with the electric guitar and bass, clean guitar, cool jazz combo. Okay, but I'm going to put a little bit of extra reverb on it. Okay, and then just balance it with the drums like that. Now, if I click with the smart controls open down here, if I choose the drum track, these are the smart controls for the drums. I'm going to put my hi-hat up a bit louder so I hear it a bit louder. Okay, whatever you like. Actually, I'll take the reverb down a little bit. Okay, so now we're ready to make our bass. Okay, let's get this bass done. Now, in the first video that I did, where I made a fast medium tempo rock song, we used the acoustic guitar to make a bass track. Okay, that works okay when you're doing a fast tempo song with a distorted, loud electric guitar, because the acoustic guitar imitating a bass sits underneath the distorted guitar and it really sounds like a bass. But in a ballad, where we can clearly hear the bass, that ain't going to work. So we can use a software instrument to make the bass. So we go to this big plus button here at the top of the track column and we click it to create a new track. And we choose this synth, which represents a software instrument track, and we create. Boom. We've created a software instrument track, and by default it puts on the classic electric piano. And if you've got your smart controls open down here, look, you'll see the controls for the classic electric piano. Okay, now this track we've just created can be moved to any position we like. I'll keep it under the drums. Okay, so with the newly created software instrument track selected, we go to the library and we go to bass, and these are the different acoustic basses, software instruments imitating acoustic basses that we can choose from. Now we can change the bass sound after we've created the bass parts. So I like to use the fingerstyle bass because it's quite trebly and we can hear the pitch clearly. Okay, because when you're composing bass, you want to hear the pitch really clearly. So I choose fingerstyle bass. Boom. And the smart controls down here, if they're open, they show the controls for this fingerstyle Fender type bass, right? Boost, tone, etc. Okay, so let's zoom in. Let's bring the player to the beginning of the song. Let's zoom right in, drag this zoom to the right. Zoom right in like that. Okay, now here is the intro. 8 bars. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And this intro is the entire cycle of the guitar played twice, the same as in the verse and the choruses. Okay, so with this bass track selected, if we hold down the command key, the pointer tool in this edit area here, the main area where we build the song, holding down command, the pointer tool switches to be a pencil. So we bring the pencil tool just behind the first bar, like that at the very beginning, and we click and input a MIDI region like that. Okay. Now this is 1 bar long by default. I drag it and snap it to be 2 bars long. Okay, now this is going to be what, this 2 bars? Well, it's going to be, listen to the guitar. Dun, 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 like that. It's 1 cycle of the guitar playing G, G, D, D, A minor, like that. That's 1 cycle of the guitar playing, and we're going to make a bass to that 1 cycle. So with this little bit of MIDI region selected and the bass track also selected, we bring in the scissors editor tool. Here's the MIDI editor. Okay, just zoom in a bit like that so we can see the whole section, a bit too far. There it is. Here's the notes. Okay. So this is how you make. This is the basic principle for making a software bass with MIDI notes, right, to go with the guitar. The first thing you do is you put in the bass notes where the chords change. So the first chord on the very first beat of the bar is a G. So there's G. In this editor here, if I hold down Command, I get the pencil tool again, and I click on the G note here in that row for the G note, just behind the opening line, the first beat of the bar, and I get a note. If I put it on the wrong note by accident, I can just grab it and change its pitch, and you see that pop-up box with the position and the pitch: B2, A sharp 2, A2, G sharp 2, G sharp 2. So you just, if you put it in the wrong pitch by mistake, move it to the right pitch, and if by mistake it's back here or something, you move it forward and stick it to the opening beat of the bar. Now, the note you put in might not be that length. It usually is by default, but if it isn't, anyway, whatever length it is, we drag it out. Let's drag it out a bit like that and have a listen. Right, here we go. G. And then you hit stop when the next chord change comes. So here, at this point, the third beat of the bar, look, beat 1, this is bar 1, beat 1, beat 2, beat 3, beat 4, and then that's the second bar, beat 2, beat 3, beat 4. So exactly here, the guitar chord changes there to the D. Okay, so from the top, G, and the D comes there. So I hold down Command, get the pencil tool, I'm going to pencil in a D here. There it is. Again, if it's on the wrong note, put it on the right note. There's my D. Let's see that from the top. I'm using spacebar to hit play. And there is where it changes to A minor. So I'll put in a note there on A. Hold down Command. A. Okay, now these notes, according to where your chords change, may be different lengths, and the chord changes may come on different beats. But that's what you do. You first put the notes in, a long note, a longish note, on each position where the chords change, and the note is the same as the chord. Let me put the bass up a bit louder so you can really hear it. Here we go. And then there I repeat, on that beat there, I repeat the A chord. So I'll put another note in there, Command, like that, boom. And that's that. Now, what we want to do now is this row up here, where it's got the numbers, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, etc. If you drag across it with the left mouse, you drag this orange cycle like that. Right, and then once that orange cycle's there, you can drag the front in and out, and it sticks to these bar numbers like that. Yeah, and you can grab the whole thing and move it around and stick it to bar numbers. Right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag a cycle range across the two bars exactly, covering this bit of bass. So it'll cycle round and round. We can see it in the editor here. Okay, I've got the basic notes where the chords change. Okay, now you might want to compose in this slightly higher octave like that, and then lower the whole thing down an octave like that, because it's easier to hear the notes at a higher octave. I'll lower them down an octave like that, and just to show you how I did that, I've made my notes where the chords change, highlight the whole lot, grab the first one and lower it down to the lower G1. And now they all go down an octave with the one I've lowered. Right, here we go. That's the first bit. Get the notes where the chords are changed like that. Now the next thing is, let's just zoom in up here. The next thing is we put in pushes, okay? Because when you play bass, you play with the drummer, okay? If you're a bass player and you play with the drummer will fall in love with you, right? A good bass player plays with the drummer. A good bass player listens to what the drummer's doing on his kick and plays with the drummer, okay? And a good drummer should be able to keep his beat and not switch to what if the bass player is playing offbeat notes or things like that, okay? Look at the drumming for this one cycle. Kick, snare, kick, kick, snare, kick, snare, kick, kick, snare, kick. Okay, so what we're going to do is put some pushes in to go with these kicks. Okay, so boom, boom, boom. So there's a double kick there. So this note, I shorten it like that. I put another note, the same pitch behind it. Command to get the pencil tool. Boom. So I've got boom, boom there. And look here, the two booms are with the kick. Yeah, boom, boom to go with the boom. I've got boom, boom on the bass to go with the boom, boom on the kick. And the second bass note, drag it out to meet the next chord change note. So I've got boom, 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 boom. And then again, I'm going to put a push on the last A minor here, the last A note. There's a double kick there, kick, kick, look there. So the note below there, which is this note here, right, that's the note there in the region, this is it in the editor. I'm going to put a double push in there on the bass to follow that double kick there. So I shorten this note and put the same note behind it, and I've got the two bass notes double pushing with the double kick there, and bring out the last one long like that to the almost the end. I'm actually going to put a triple push in here, like this. So I've got boom, boom, boom. And a last push. So at the end I've got boom, 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 like that. But what a bass player will often do is put a little flourish at the end to resolve the end of the cycle. So what my little flourish at the end is going to be boom, 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 like that. Boom, 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 and then back to boom, right? Okay, like that. Now, depending on the groove of your song, this song has got a slight swing to it. A slight swing. Like this. I'm going to exaggerate it, but this is how it kind of goes. Mama, take these guns off of me. Ba-dum dum da ba-dum bum da ba-dum bum da bum da ba-dum bum ba ba-dum bum ba ba-dum bum ba ba ba-dum. Like that. It's got that kind of ba-dum dum da da bum ba-dum dum dum ba-dum dum. So I'm going to put that little ba-dum dum type swing into the bass, right, to go with the guitar. So boom, and I want to go ba boom boom for that chord change. So this note here, bring it a little bit shorter, like that, and then the way that this, when you're putting MIDI notes in here, the way it works is whatever note you've last touched with the pointer tool, the next note you pencil in will be the same length as the note you just tweaked. So because I've tweaked this note to be that length, the next note I put in will be exactly the same length as this note. Alright, so hold down Command, I'm going to pencil in the note down here out of the way so it doesn't spill into any other notes here. Like that. Shorten it to be a little tiny note like that, and then push it up to the same as that. So I've got boom, and then boom, 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 like that. Right? Now this note gives me the ba-bum bum into those two. Ba-bum bum, yeah? Ba-bum bum. But it needs swing on it. So I select the note, go to the quantize here, and I choose 16 swing C, which is a typical amount of swing. And as I select that, it will quantize this note with swing, pushing it back in time a bit. Watch. Boom. Now this skips, this goes ba-boom, boom into the next two notes. And I'm going to put the same little skip here to go into this, so I get ba-boom, boom, 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 like that. So I drag that note back, make a gap like that, a little 16th gap. A 16th is the distance between these lines, right? Get this note, hold down Alt, drag a copy of it off, let go, and then I've got the copy now. Move the copy over here, put it in that gap, stuck to that 16th line. So I've got that boom, 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 boom now, but this note needs to swing on as well. So I highlight it. My quantize is already set here to 16 swing C. So with this little note selected, I just need to press the Q. It will quantize that note to 16 swing C, and it gets knocked back in time like that one there. Ready? Boom. And now we get that nice boom, 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 boom. That little note there skips into this last section. So it goes boom, 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 and then back to G. Right, now I can make that note fractionally shorter, and that one just a little bit shorter. Maybe not quite so short. And there's one cycle of the guitar. G to D to A, right? Now what I do, hold down Alt, copy it over, drag a copy over and stick it in like that, and then move this cycle range, drag it across to cover the copied cycle of bass I've copied over there. And now we're into the second cycle of the guitar. Now here it goes G, D, C, 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 like that. Okay, so let's hear it. And let's have that. This is the bit of bass here, that's it highlighted. This is it in the editor with the white highlight above, right? Now we copied this bit of bass, G, D to A, over to here, but this bit of the guitar is G, D, C. So this last bit of bass playing here is on A, it should be on C. So I grab the whole lot, lasso the whole lot like that, so it's all highlighted. Push it up to C. And finally, this little boom, 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 boom at the end. This note is, this ending bit, this little flourish at the end, it's the wrong harmony for the C, right? So that note pushes up, and that note pushes up, so I get boom, 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 to harmonise with the C. Right, and now if I drag this cycle range out like that to the very beginning, I'm covering the entire 2 cycles of the guitar playing. That is now one complete cycle of the guitar. G, D, A, G, D, C. Okay, so with these two bits selected, which is one complete cycle of the verse, I now join them together. Edit, join regions, boom. Okay, and there's one complete cycle of guitar. Okay, now the next cycle of the intro and verse is the same, so Alt, copy it over, and that's now the bass. One complete cycle, G, D, A, G, D, C, and repeated. G, D, A, G, D, C, 8 bars, 4 bars, one cycle of guitar, 4 bars, repeat cycle of guitar, giving me a total 8 bars. That's the guitar done, the bass for the intro. And it's the same for the verse. Okay, so that's one complete cycle of the bass done, and in this song the bass is the same in the intro as the verse, so I grab the two bits, the two cycles of the bass, and I hold down Alt, drag off a copy and snap it over my verse. Okay, so there's the bass for my verse. Okay, now your song might have different chords in the chorus, in which case you do the same thing to make the bass for the chorus as I did for the verse. Okay, you hold down Command, pencil in the region at the beginning of the chorus, drag it out so that the region is one complete cycle of the chorus guitar playing, and then you start by putting in the notes where the chords change, then you put in the pushes to go with kicks and snares, and then if there's any little swings in the bass, you put those little swing notes in going ba-bum bum into other bits. Okay, let me delete that empty region. But in my song the chorus is the same as the verse, so I grab the bass for the verse, Alt, drag a copy and snap it over the chorus. Okay, like that. Okay, turn the cycle range off. Okay, now here is the end of the verse. This is the last bit of bass. At the end of this is the whole verse section of the song here, like all that, right? And this is the chorus onwards, right? So that's the last bit of bass for the verse leading into the chorus bass. So what I'm going to do is drag a cycle range over the last bar of the verse and the first bar of the chorus. Lasso those two bits of bass. This is the last bit of verse bass, that's the first bit of chorus bass. Lasso them both. And then down here in the editor, zoom in on that join where the cycle range is, right? So there's the last bit of bass, the last bar of the bass in the verse leading into the first bar of the bass in the chorus. Like that. Let's put the bass up a bit louder. Now a bass player at the end of a verse leading into a chorus will do some sort of climb, some sort of thing to bring the song into the chorus from the verse. So at the end of my bass here, the last bar of the verse bass, it goes C, boom, 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 and I'm going to make it go C, boom, 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 like that. A nice do-do-do-do-do climb to bring the chorus in, and then the first G note, the first G of the chorus, I'm going to push it up to a higher octave. The next G up. So I get ba-bum, bum, 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 a higher G for the opening G bass note of the chorus. Like that. Then, to make my chorus bass different, right, my A section, I'm going to push up an octave. Right? So this is all the A section of the bass for the A chord, so I just lasso the whole lot and push it up an octave. Right, so now I get this. Ba-dum, bum, bum, bum. Higher G, D, higher A. Oh, let's drag take the cycle range out to hear that. Bum 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 bum. Higher G, D, higher A. Bum, bum, bum. And it goes with the singing. Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door. Like that. Okay, so I'll go further. Let's take the cycle range off. I'll go further down my bass. Okay, that's the first cycle of the bass done. Okay, all I've done is push the A up to a higher octave, the G up to the higher octave, and then, where are we? And then when I get to the second cycle there, the next G, bring that up to the higher G as well. Okay, so that, okay, look, let's just have only that. This is the chorus bass, the first cycle of chorus bass. I've got higher G, higher A, higher G, but the C's I'm leaving, this C, I'm leaving at the normal pitch, right, like this. Oh, come on. Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door. Right, next cycle of bass for the chorus, same thing. I get the G, push it up to the higher octave. I get the A section, push it up to the higher octave. Like that, and the next G up to the higher octave. And now my bass parts for the chorus, they've got the higher G and the higher A in them. That makes them different. Let's have a listen. Cycle around the whole chorus. Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door. 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 Right, and finally at the end of the chorus, take the cycle range off, at the end of the chorus, okay, this is the last bit of chorus here, and here it is in the editor, let's zoom in on it. I'm going to do a climb down out of the chorus, like the bass is going to go do-do-do-do-do, boom, back to the verse. So, C, boom, 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 like that, and then back to the G, boom. Right, so here we go, the end. Boom, 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 like that. That's the end of my chorus. I climb down to signify the end of the chorus. Okay, so that's all my chorus bass done, and then I get the verse bass from here, and Alt, drag it across and snap it to the next verse, like that. So here's my climb down out of the chorus into the verse. Okay, right, let's zoom out up here. Now, after this second chorus, second verse here, we go into the next chorus. So I grab the chorus bass, Alt, drag a copy off, snap it to the next chorus, and then we're into the solo. Okay, this next section is a solo. The guitar playing is the same as the verse, right? So I get the verse bass here, Alt, drag a copy, snap it under that solo section. So there we go, that's the bass for that. And that just leaves my three choruses at the end. So I get the chorus bass, Alt, drag a copy, snap it to that chorus, Alt, drag a copy, snap it to that chorus, Alt, drag a copy, snap it to that chorus, and there's my bass done. Now obviously I could have gone in a lot more and worked on the bass a lot deeper, okay, but that'll do. There's the basic principles, okay. So that's my bass done. Let's hear it from the chorus. Okay, the last cycle of the chorus the verse going into the chorus. Feel like I'm knocking on heaven's door. Here comes the climb, ba-dum, bum, 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 bum. Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door. Right, and then at the end of the chorus we got the climb down out into the verse. Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door is the climb. Boom, 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 boom. Mama, put these guns in the ground. Right, there's the bass done. Okay, so that's the bass track all done. And I can change the bass to any of these bass sounds that I want, but we'll do that in a minute. Let's get the solo done now, the guitar solo. So I'll make a new track with the big plus button up here. Boom, new track. I'm going to go with the jazz guitar preset to record the solo, but afterwards of course I can change it to any guitar sound I want. So I choose a guitar track, create. I'll move the guitar track up here underneath the rhythm track. Then in the library here, clean guitar, cool jazz combo. Okay, now with the recording stuff I've shown you so far, we always recorded from the beginning, but we can record starting anywhere in a Garageband arrangement. So I put the playhead at the beginning of the solo section. Right, this is the entire solo section of the song there. Let's zoom in on it like that. Okay, that's all the solo. So I put the playhead and snap it exactly to the beginning of the solo like that. I go to record and change my count into 2 bars. Now, if I have the playhead positioned anywhere in my arrangement and I hit record, with the 2 bar count in, what happens is I hit record, the playhead backs up, I get 2 bars of music to count me in, and then Garageband goes into record wherever the playhead is positioned. Okay, so we're going to drop in the solo. I'm going to try and pull one out of the bag. Okay, so we know the procedure to record. We click the monitor, the volume gets turned down, we alt left click on the volume control to put it back to the default, and we hit record. Here we go. Spacebar to stop. Okay, there's the solo. Okay, just put the volume up a little bit. Of course I can change this to any sound I want, like Amazing Tweed. I don't know, Clean Room. Country Gent. You know what I mean? You can change it to anything you want. I'll leave it on this cool jazz combo like that. Okay, there's the solo done. That'll do for now. Okay. Okay, that's the guitar solo done, and we're almost ready to get the vocal down. But when you do your vocal, you want the backing music that you're singing to sound fairly finished. And there's one thing that we haven't got yet, and that is on our drum track we don't have any drum fills. There are no fills leading from one section into the next section. So to do this, you just select the drum track so all the drum parts are selected, and then you go to the editor here and you push up the fills to about that amount, not too much. If you push it too high you start getting fills in the middle of the drumming sections as well. Somewhere around there, and that puts a fill at the end of every section, plus a crash at the beginning of the section that each fill leads into. We zoom in now, look, there's a little fill at the end of the intro, followed by a crash for the beginning of the next section. Okay, it's put a little fill at the end of each section. Okay, now, if your song has swing, like this song does, Heaven's Door, this has swing in this song, remember? Remember when we did the bass? It's got that kind of swing to the strumming and the bass. So unless we put swing on the fills, they won't swing properly with the rhythm of the music. Now, you only do this if you've got swing in your strumming. Okay, you select the track, you've put the fills amount up, and now you put this to 16th, and you put your swing up to about 70-75% like that, and that puts swing on any 16th fills. Okay, but it will not affect any of the notes, any of the drum beats in the actual patterns, because they're only using 8ths. So now I've put the swing on. Listen to the fill at the end of the intro here. It's got that bum bum ba da da dum, that nice swing that goes with the strumming and the bass groove. Okay, so once you've done that, automatically, you know, with all the drum parts selected, you've put your swing on if required. Then you've put the fills amount up to put a little fill at the end of every section. You then finally go along and you check each one of the sections to see if you like the fill that's been put on at the end. So this is the fill at the end of the intro. Like nice simple fill, just bum ba bum in 8ths. We don't want something too busy. At the end of the verse, fine, that's good. At the end of this chorus, okay, that one's a little, I want that to not be an 8ths fill, so I select, if you want to change the fill at the end of any section, you select the section and then just tweak the fill amount, and you'll see the fill at the end change. There's a different fill now. Because it's got the swing on, right? If your song doesn't have swing, you don't put this swing on. Okay, then there's a fill at the end of this verse. That's fine. Then there's a fill at the end of this chorus. Okay, that one I want to be a little bit busier, so I'll just tweak it. Okay, just tweak it. See that one. That's the same as the one before, isn't it? So hang on, let's just change it to get something different. Just tweak this. You only need the tiniest tweak and it changes. Now let's hear that one. Yeah, that one's fine. Then the fill at the end of the solo. Yeah, that's good. Then there's this one at the end of this chorus here. Just tweak that one up a bit. Highlight that chorus only. Tweak the fill. There it is. That's good. Fill at the end of this chorus. Let's check it. That's good. And the fill at the end of that one seems right, but we'll have faded out almost then. Okay, now if you want to put a fill in the middle of a section as well as at the end, like I've got these 3 choruses at the end, so I'm going to put a fill in the middle of these choruses. So I'll highlight this chorus. If I push the fills up even more, eventually you get a fill in the middle as well. Fill a bit more. There we go, there's a fill there in the middle. A nice rub-a-dum because it's got the swing, and a fill at the end. Okay, then I'll put a fill in the middle of this solo, push this up a bit more until I get a fill in the middle, a bit more, a bit more. Come on, come on. Let's see that one. Yeah, nice, and a fill at the end. And then a double fill in that, a fill in the middle as well. Push it up till I get a fill in the middle. There's a little bit more, little fill in the middle. And a fine. Let's just tweak that a smidge more. Get one like, yeah, like that. Come on. There, like that. Okay, so that's how you do your fills, and you spend as much time as you want just tweaking those and getting those how you want them. Okay, so that's all the fills done, so our drum tracks sound a bit more, you know, lively, and all we have to do now is do a quick balance and then we're ready to do the vocal. Okay, let's get the vocal down and we'll go a quick balance together before we do the vocal. I do have the chance to change the bass and the drums to a different kit and a different bass sound, and of course change the guitar sound or anything I want, But at the moment, just before we do the vocal, all we're doing is we just want to get a decent balance. So let's just quickly check the balance for the verse. Bring in the smart controls. Okay, here's the drums. I'll bring the hats up a little bit louder in the verses. Kick down a little bit. Yeah, that's good. Let's check the chorus. Bring the cymbals down a bit. Guitar, just check the level. Yeah, solo. Okay, it's a reasonable little balance, right? And by the way, I've saved this song already as Heaven's Door X3, so I'll just, now I've done these little tweaks and everything, I'll just resave it. Save. Okay, ready to do the vocal. So we create a new track. Boom, new track, a mic track, create. I'll bring the mic track up to the top like that. Okay, and I'll go to the voice presets and I'll put on it the preset natural vocal. Okay, I'll bring in the monitor. Yeah, 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 yeah. I can hear the sound of the vocal the mic going through that vocal preset as I sing. Right, we're ready. All I do is bring the playhead. I'm not going to record from the very beginning because there's 8 whole bars of intro, so I'll put the playhead at the beginning of the verse, and with the 2-bar counting, when I hit record, the playhead will back up. I'll get 2 bars of music, and Garageband will go into record right there at the beginning of the verse. So let's get the vocal down. You know the procedure to record. You activate the input monitor button, the volume gets turned down, you alt left click on the volume to reset it and hit record. Here we go. Mama, take this badge up for me. I can't wear it anymore. It's getting dark, too dark to see. I feel like I'm knocking on heaven's door. Knock, knock, 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 knocking on heaven's door. Mama, put these guns in the ground. I can't shoot them anymore. Long black clouds coming on down. Feel like I'm knocking on heaven's door. Knock, knock, 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 knocking on heaven's door. And stop. Now obviously with a vocal you want to sing it all the way through, so that when the people are listening they can hear that the vocal is slightly different in each bit, okay? But I'm going to use the technique of just copying and pasting to do it quickly. Okay, so I'll zoom in at the end of the recording there, at the end of the chorus, a little bit of overspill when I hit stop, so I'll bring that in and snap it to the end of the chorus. Okay, playhead snapped to the beginning of the chorus exactly like that. Select the piece of singing, edit, split it at the playhead, boom. Okay, bring the playhead, snap it exactly to the beginning of the second verse there, although it says verse 1, that's just the number of that. When I copied the verse guitar over to here, it just called it verse .1 as a copy. So this is the second verse, the playhead's right at the beginning, like that. Select the singing, edit, split it at the playhead, bring the playhead, snap it to the beginning of that, the first chorus, select the singing, audio, edit, split it. And now the singing is split into verse 1, chorus 1, verse 2, chorus 2. Okay, and I'll just copy some choruses over to the end. So I'll take the first chorus, which will be slightly different to this chorus because they're both different. Alt, drag a copy off and stick it at the beginning of that chorus like that for that one. Then this second chorus, Alt, drag off a copy, snap it to the second to end chorus, and then this first chorus, Alt, drag off a copy and snap it there like that. So this chorus and this chorus are the same, that one's different, so they're going to sound slightly different. And there we are, that's the vocal done. That's a quick way of doing it if you just want to get a demo together. But really you should sing all the way through. Okay, so there's my vocal.
Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door. Knock, knock, knocking on my heart. Take this badge up for me.
Okay, and now we're ready to do our mix. Okay, so we have the smart controls open down here, so that when we select each track, we've got its controls here to tweak it, like that. And we just change the, adjust the volume with the volume controls here for each track. Pan if required, we can pan things, and the smart controls allow us to tweak the controls, EQ, etc. for each track. Okay, now the first thing is we can change the drums. Okay, this SoCal kit is the kit that is the default kit for the drummer. We use Kyle, but we don't have to use the SoCal kit. Okay, with the drummer track selected, we can choose any of the drum kits from here. So, this is the default SoCal kit for Kyle. But I could switch it to Bluebird.
This badge up for me.
Brooklyn.
I can't wear it.
East Bay, whatever I like.
Anymore.
Now you should check the fills. To make sure the cymbal crash is okay, that the kit you've chosen has got a decent cymbal you like for the song, etc. Check your verse drumming to hear what it's like with the lower volume or rim shot snare. And with the hi-hats, yeah, I might tweak the hi-hats a bit louder here.
For me. I can't wear it.
Okay, then check the chorus with the ride.
Knock, knock, knocking on
Okay, that's too loud, I'll bring that down.
heaven's door.
Alright, this cymbal affects the crash and the ride.
Knock, knock, knock.
Okay, and just check one of the fills that's got toms to set your tom amount.
Ooh.
Okay, I'm going to lower my kick a bit, it's too heavy.
Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door. Knock.
Check the rim shot in the verse again. Okay, and that's a decent balance, and I'll just drop the whole kit down a smidge.
I can't wear it anymore.
Because it's a ballad after all, yeah.
It's getting dark, too dark
Kick down a touch more.
to see.
Okay, now you tweak it and tweak it. Okay, and you choose any kit you want and then tweak it and balance it. Next, the bass. We can change the bass. We compose the bass using the fingerstyle bass because it's quite trebly. It allows us to hear the pitch well. But now we can change the bass. So we select the bass track and we'll try different basses. Let's try the fretless.
Feel like I'm knocking on heaven's door.
Just mute the vocal for a minute. Okay, that's fret space, Liverpool bass. And you might find you need to lower the bass when you change to certain basses. That's quite a mid-range bass, that one. Okay, muted bass. Okay, the picked prog bass, they'll be too trebly for a ballad. They'll be sort of picked with a plectrum. Try the stinger bass, that's quite a soft one. Thumb bass. And you've got your through uprights. You've got your baby upright, your ballad upright, and these can sound really nice if you're doing a country-ish type song, and your studio upright. I might go with this thumb bass. It's really nice and soft. And just balance its level here. I can tweak its boost. Okay, so I've got a good balance. Drums and bass, they're okay. Let's go to the guitar here now. Now obviously you can change it. I could change it to the natural strum acoustic, which hasn't got the stereo spread. The chorus one. Or I could choose an electric guitar, you know, like I had originally, the electric guitar, clean, you know, this jazz combo one I like. You know, I'm actually going to go back to this jazz combo guitar. And here are the controls for it, and I can adjust its tone. Add some reverb, whatever. Okay, but here's the thing, with electric guitar presets over here on the smart controls, you've got access to the amp, this little amp icon, and there's the amp. So I could, you know, tweak this further. Okay, I've got access here to bass, mid and treble EQ, as well as the presence separately. Okay, so I'm taking the mid EQ out and making it slightly treblier. Like that. And then over here I could change the cabinet or the mic. I'm going to change the cabinet from this ribbon to this clean Neumann condenser. Okay, that'll do. And then check the solo. I'll put a nice bit of reverb so it's deep in some reverb. A little bit of echo. Sharpen it up a bit with the tone. But of course I could access the amp for this one as well and tweak it here, you know, change the mic, change the cab, whatever I like, okay? There we go, and finally the vocal, bring the vocal back in. And you can try all different presets for the vocal as well. I could try classic vocal. Try it without the echo. You know, there are all different ones to try. So I'll stick with this one. bits of fraction.
It's getting dark, too dark to see. Feel like I'm knocking on heaven's door. Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door. Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door. Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door.
Yeah, and you just do a little, you know, you get your balance together like that. Okay, that'll do. All right.
Mama, take this badge up for me. I can't wear it anymore. It's getting dark, too dark to see. Feel like I'm knocking on heaven's door.
Okay, once you've got your little mix together like that, save the project again, and we're ready to do our automatic fade out. Okay, so to do that we go mix, fade out, and a master track will be created here in the track list, and a fade out will be put on at the end of the track. So mix, fade out, boom, like that. Okay. Here's a little fade out at the end. Now this little diamond there, that little triangle thing you can move, that's the end song marker. If it's right up against your music like that, bring it back a little bit so that when we go down this end and zoom in, we can actually, you know, see past the end of the song a bit. Okay, there's the fade out, these little nodes. Okay, now I actually want my fade out to begin here at the very beginning of the last section of chorus. So I click on the background there to deselect these nodes, and the first node where the fade out begins, I bring this forward to where I want the fade out to begin, like that. The last node here where silence is reached, okay, this one must be, it can't be outside the music, otherwise the music will be heard ending before the fade out is finished. So this has to be inside the music, just a fraction like that. And then the other nodes, you just adjust them to get your fade out. And you can click to add more nodes like that, etc. Okay, so now I've set the length of my fade. I zoom out, and that allows me to better set my curve. Like that, let's say. There we are, there's my fade out.
Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door.
Just taking a bit of reverb off the vocal. So there's the fade out.
Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door.
Last check. Just lower my snare a tad.
Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door.
Now just check the rim shot for the verse.
I can't shoot down anymore.
There we go. That'll do. That'll do, pig. Right. Now, one last thing. Because we created the automatic fade out, this master track has been created with the fade out on it, and the entire mix of our song goes through this master track. Right. So with this master track selected, we can choose from the library any of these mastering presets to put across the entire mix of our song. So I could choose extended highs, and it will put the mastering preset extended highs across my entire mix, which will give it very trebly,
Black clouds coming on down.
very trebly sound, or extended lows, which will give me a very deep bassy.
Feel like I'm
or hyped mix. You know, each one gives the whole mix a different sound.
knocking on heaven's door.
Okay, so I'll go with ballad. Why not? It's a ballad, right?
Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door.
brighten it up with this colour here, a little bit more low end.
Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door.
I can't get a very good vocal sound. A little bit honky, the mic.
Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door.
There, that'll do.
Mama, take this badge up for me. I can't wear it anymore.
Okay, so there you go, like that. And that's your kind of mix done, so yeah, you can always tweak it. So I'll just save again, because I've done a little mix there. And now we're ready to share the mix. So we go to share. Now you can share off to iTunes and SoundCloud or whatever but you always want to export a version of your song as a stereo file to disk, so you've got a master of it. So we do export song to disk. Oh, and by the way, at this point make sure the metronome here is off, because if it's on, the click 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 of the metronome will be included in your master file. So share, export song to disk. By default it takes you to your Garageband folder. You can put it anywhere you like, just choose a different disk location, and it automatically pre-titles the mix you're going to run off with the title of the project followed by a date and time stamp. That's really cool, because you can run off a mix, tweak the mix, change it, run off another mix, and each one has a different date and time stamp. So that's what it's going to be called, Heaven's Door X3 with the date and time stamp. And you can choose an AAC master stereo file with different bit rates, kilobit rates, but I mean really this is for video or something. MP3, which is good, you can render off different MP3 masters, which are good for uploading to websites. But we want to render off an AIFF master stereo file, 24 or 16-bit, I'll go with 16-bit. And I'll just export, boom. And GarageBand renders or bounces off a render of my mix. Like that, including the fade out at the end and everything. Bish bash bosh, there it is. And if we just look in our Finder, there's the mix I just did. Heaven's Door X. No, that's not the one, is it? Music, GarageBand, there it is. And if you double click it'll just open it in iTunes. So double click, let's have a listen. So you listen to the mix and you listen, you think maybe the drums are too loud, maybe the kick's too loud, maybe this is too, maybe that needs to change, and
Mama, take this badge up for me. I can't wear it anymore.
Maybe my bass is a bit loud there.
It's getting dark, too dark to see. Feel like I'm knocking on heaven's door. Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door.
Whatever, let's go to the solo. Where's that? And you got your fade out at the end, of course.
Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door. Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door. Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door.
etc. Okay, now obviously, you know, I'm a crap singer, but if I was... What the hell? No! So obviously, you know, if you're a better singer and I tune the guitars properly, you know, this is just a quick demo to show you how to do it, tutorial to show you how to do it, right? But there you go. That's how you do that, and then you listen to what the mix is like, and you think, oh yeah, actually the bass was too loud, so you come back here and lower the bass, lower the drums a smidge, whatever, you know, change the vocal preset, tweak the vocal, whatever. You know, maybe something like that, whatever. Okay, but that's how you do that. Now there are other things we can do obviously in Garageband, but these are the basics. That's how you put together a slow acoustic style ballad. Okay, hope that's been useful, and I'll come back and do some other Garageband videos when I've got time.